The doors close softly behind him. Outside, cameras flash. Inside, silence. A young boy walks through the quiet halls of a centuries-old estate, his footsteps echoing beneath vaulted ceilings that have witnessed kings, wars, coronations, and history itself. He is not old enough to drive a car, not old enough to vote, not old enough to fully understand the weight of what waits for him. And yet, one day, the world may call him king. This is the life of Prince George. In a world obsessed with celebrity wealth, billionaires, tech moguls, and oil tycoons, there exists a different kind of fortune, not one earned, not one invested, not one built from a startup or empire, but inherited through bloodline, legacy, and centuries of royal power. Prince George is not simply a privileged child. He is the future of a monarchy valued in the billions, raised in palaces that define history, and educated under a system carefully designed to prepare him for a role unlike any other. But what does that life actually look like behind the gates? From the outside, it's easy to imagine constant ceremony, glittering crowns, and royal banquets. Yet the modern monarchy has shifted. His parents, the Prince and Princess of Wales, have made a deliberate choice. They are raising their son in luxury, yes, but also with grounding, structure, discipline, exposure to the real world beyond palace walls. The balance is delicate. Too much royal isolation and he becomes detached. Too much normalcy and the weight of tradition fades. As of early 2026, Prince George stands at a transitional moment in his life. Childhood is slowly blending into preparation, and preparation, in his world, is unlike anything most families could ever imagine. His education alone reveals the scale of privilege. Currently, he attends Lambrook School in Berkshire, a preparatory school known not just for academic excellence, but for the environment it offers. Tuition costs approximately $23,000 per year, and that figure only scratches the surface. The campus spans 52 acres of carefully maintained grounds. There is a 9-hole golf course where young students can practice under open skies, a private swimming pool, sports facilities that rival elite training academies. But Lambrook is more than luxury amenities. It is controlled exposure, a place where the future king can interact with peers in a structured environment, while still maintaining layers of security. The balance between freedom and protection defines every decision surrounding his life. Yet this is only the beginning. September 2026 marks the next major step, secondary school. And here, the speculation intensifies. For decades, Eton College has been the traditional path for royal males, with annual costs rumored to exceed $120,000. Eton represents legacy, exclusivity, and a long line of British leadership, prime ministers, aristocrats, members of the royal family. But reports emerging in early 2026 suggest another contender remains strong: Marlborough College, the alma mater of his mother, Princess Catherine, a coeducational institution, modern, prestigious, balanced. The choice is more than academic. It signals philosophy, tradition versus evolution, exclusivity versus shared experience with siblings. Whatever the final decision, one thing is clear: Prince George's education is not just about grades. It is about grooming a leader. And leadership, in this world, requires more than textbooks. It requires exposure to excellence beyond the classroom. George's hobbies reveal another layer of extraordinary access. In late 2024, at just 11 years old, he reportedly took his first flying lesson. Aviation runs deep in his family. His father trained as a pilot. His grandfather did the same. But imagine the moment: a child barely in his teens seated beside an instructor, lifting off into the sky, seeing royal estates and countryside shrink below him. For most children, flying is a vacation thrill. For him, it is preparation. Then there is scuba diving. Prince William has shared that George adapted quickly to underwater exploration. Think about that access: private instruction, professional-grade equipment, safe, controlled environments. While most children learn swimming at community pools, George explores the silent world beneath the surface of the ocean. Sports play a significant role in shaping discipline. Tennis, in particular, stands out. Private lessons, access to world-class courts, and perhaps most astonishing of all, sessions with 20-time Grand Slam champion Roger Federer. For a young athlete, that level of mentorship is almost unimaginable. Federer is not simply a coach. He is a living legend of the sport. And for George, this isn't a once-in-a-lifetime meet and greet. It is structured training. He is also a regular presence in the royal box at Wimbledon, not as a fan sitting in general admission, but in the section reserved for royalty, dignitaries, and global elites. From a young age, he is being introduced to how power observes the world. Yet the image of privilege is softened by surprising additions to his curriculum. Ballet lessons, accompanied by a live pianist, weekly French classes, drama training. These are not random hobbies. They are strategic. Ballet builds posture and discipline. French strengthens diplomatic capability. Drama teaches presence, projection, confidence, the subtle tools of public life. In the world of apex luxury, true wealth is not just material. It is access to the best teachers, the best environments, the best preparation. And Prince George exists at the center of that philosophy. Then there are the homes. His primary residence is Adelaide Cottage in Windsor, a Grade 2 listed home located within the private grounds of Windsor Great Park. 4 bedrooms, historic architecture, seclusion within one of the most protected royal landscapes in Britain. It is modest by palace standards, yet extraordinary by global standards. School holidays shift the setting to Anmer Hall in Norfolk, a 10-bedroom country mansion gifted by Queen Elizabeth II as a wedding present to his parents. Rolling countryside, privacy, expansive, grounds where childhood can breathe, without the immediate glare of London. And then, of course, there are the palaces. Buckingham Palace, Kensington Palace, combined valuations exceeding $5.6 billion. These are not simply residences, they are institutions, living museums, symbols of monarchy. George does not merely visit them, he belongs to the lineage that defines them. Imagine growing up knowing that entire buildings, worth billions, are part of your inheritance. The psychology of that reality is difficult to grasp, yet perhaps one of the most fascinating aspects of his lifestyle lies in something surprisingly relatable: clothing. Unlike previous generations of royals who were dressed almost exclusively in bespoke tailoring, George's wardrobe blends luxury designers with accessible high street brands: Ralph Lauren Kids, Amaya Kids, Peppa and Company, but also Mango Kids, Nike, Mountain Warehouse. This calculated mix does two things: it preserves luxury branding while maintaining relatability, and when he wears something, it often sells out instantly, a phenomenon widely known as the Prince George effect. In the luxury economy, influence equals power, and even as a child, his influence moves markets. But behind the fashion, the estates, the elite education, there remains a deeper question. What does it feel like to grow up knowing your life has already been mapped? Unlike heirs to corporate empires who can step away, sell shares, or reinvent themselves, monarchy is not optional. It is identity. It is expectation. It is history that cannot be negotiated. His parents appear deeply aware of this. Their efforts to balance royal duty with grounded parenting suggest a strategic shift in how modern monarchy evolves. Public school exposure, outdoor activities, encouragement of normal sibling dynamics, controlled public appearances instead of constant spotlight. Because in today's digital age, privacy is a luxury rarer than gold. Every photograph is analyzed, every expression interpreted, every public appearance becomes headline material across continents. And yet, within the gates of Windsor Great Park, there are likely moments of simple childhood: playing outdoors, laughing with siblings, learning to ride bikes, competing in friendly tennis matches. These quiet moments rarely make headlines, but they shape character. From a wealth perspective, Prince George represents something unique in global luxury culture. He is not a billionaire in the conventional sense. He does not own tech companies or oil fields. Yet the institutional wealth tied to the British monarchy places him within one of the most valuable dynastic systems in the world: combined property holdings, cultural assets, tourism revenue, global influence. The monarchy operates as both heritage and enterprise, and George stands at its future center. As he approaches adolescence, the decisions surrounding him will become even more significant. Public engagements will increase, diplomatic exposure will expand, media scrutiny will intensify. The transition from privileged child to visible heir is not sudden. It is gradual, carefully managed, strategically paced. For viewers of apex luxury, his story is not just about wealth, it is about legacy wealth, generational influence measured not in quarterly earnings, but in centuries. In many ways, Prince George embodies the evolution of royal luxury in the modern era: less ostentatious than past generations, more media-aware, blending tradition with relatability. But beneath the grounded image lies undeniable privilege: private flying lessons before teenage years, elite coaching from sporting legends, residences worth billions, access to the world's most secure environments, education decisions debated globally. This is apex-level inheritance. Yet the most intriguing part of his story may not be the wealth he has, but the responsibility he carries. Because luxury at this level is never free. It comes with scrutiny, expectation, and the quiet understanding that one day, the doors that close softly behind him may open to a throne room. Until then, he remains a child walking the line between two worlds: playground and palace, tennis court and coronation hall, ballet class and state ceremony. In the coming years, the world will watch closely: his education choices, his emerging interests, his first major public speeches, his transition into young adulthood. And while billionaires compete for the title of richest individual, there is something uniquely powerful about inherited legacy, about a name that carries centuries of weight. Prince George does not need to build an empire. He is being raised to inherit one, and in the rare air of global aristocracy, that may be the ultimate form of wealth.